Hey, Dr. Tom Preston here from Full Circle Coaching and Consulting. I'm glad you've chosen to join us today. Our company's about helping you become more so you can do more and have more of what your authentic heart desires. I want to talk to you today about a recent interaction I had with a client who we'll call him Josh. And he was definitely having some challenges around some obstacles, some blocks, some headspace, and the heart space that went with that. And as a result of this, it was definitely impacting every part of his life, particularly his business. He felt like there was a lid on it. He didn't have clarity. He couldn't focus. He wasn't goal setting properly. It was impacting his relationship with his wife and his children. And there was lots of ripple effects. And one of the sayings we have in our company is, "How you do anything is how you do everything." And so I really encourage you to stay with me for the duration of this video, so I can, tell you the whole story about Josh and what the outcome was. Because the simple formula that I have developed over time was unbelievably helpful for Josh. It literally allowed him to release some of these energetic space occupying lesions, we call them ESOLs, that was blocking him from tapping into that creativity, to that power, to that wisdom that is the essence of who each one of us is as people. And so I encourage you to stay with me till the end. As we work through this material, if you're someone that goes, "Hey, you know what, I think I could use some help with a block like Josh had," then certainly reach out. We're going to put in the description below an opportunity for you to book a 10-minute, what we call a discovery call, which is a chance for us to brainstorm with you what the blocks might be and to give you some direction for how to work your way through that. So again, the challenge that I'm going to switch screens here, you guys, and the challenge that Josh basically had was that he had an experience in his life that was definitely causing him some pain. And in this particular example, it was something in the family side, and it was, to put it in really simple terms, it was an experience, okay? And this experience had caused him a great deal of pain. Now, he was of the mindset, and he understands and realizes that everything happens for a reason, that reason serves us, but he really didn't love this experience, and it was definitely causing him some pain, and it was rippling out into other parts of his life, as I already stated, okay? So the three-part process that I walked him through was to start out with a reminder that, in fact, there is a matrix of intelligence in the universe, okay? Some people choose to call it creative intelligence. Some people call it universal intelligence. Some people call it God. Some people call it whatever it is you want to put words to. But 99% of the world's population, in my experience, understands and is awareness that there is a matrix of intelligence in the universe. And so as a byproduct of that awareness helps me recognize and remember that I'm a part of that intelligence. And there's one of the most important things I ever learned was something called the major premise. And the major premise states that there is a universal intelligence in all matter that continually gives to it all its properties and actions and thereby maintains it in existence. Okay, so remembering that I was a part of that, and in this case, helping Josh remember that he's a part of that, really helps put context to this entire dialogue. Okay, so let's go back to this. And so what we realize is that part of the purpose of life is to learn lessons. Okay, and to expand awareness through these lessons. And then as a byproduct of expanding awareness, we get a chance to express ourselves as fully as is humanly possible. Okay? So when you remember that is part of the protocol, that is part of the process, that's part of the fundamental nature of the reason why we exist in human form, you can put into context that major premise that I spoke about earlier, and you can realize that as an incredible part of that the learning opportunities never end, that they serve a purpose. They're not just there to hurt us, because that was what Josh was hanging on to. He was hanging on to the hurt. But in fact, there's more to that, and because we live in a binary universe, there's always equal opposites, right? There's always hot to cold and dark to light. And in this case, there's pain, and then there's the other side of pain, which is the growth that can come from that, and the joy that can possibly come, from that growth. Okay, So the process is this. It's a three-part process, as I stated earlier. And the first part, the first step, you guys, is to have a complete acceptance of the form of the teaching. Now watch the simple logic behind this, you guys, okay? If you cannot accept the form of the teaching, you are basically denying the major premise, okay? So there's a universal intelligence in all matter that continually, not just when the going good's, not when I think it's okay, but continually keeps it in action and keeps and maintains its existence, basically, okay? So if you understand that even if you don't like the form with which the lesson is coming to you, and in this case it caused Josh a lot of pain, and he was hanging on to that pain, understandably so, when you recognize that the form with which it came in is actually perfect for you, and you can actually get to a place of acceptance of that, your entire outlook and your entire context for the process changes, okay? So again, in my own life, I can honestly say I haven't always been particularly happy with the form with which the lessons come in. Some of them have been painful. Some of them I'm thinking could have been another way. But to deny the presence of the universal intelligence that I know to be true in the universe, call it God if you will, I know that the form that it came in was perfect for me in that moment, okay? So once you get acceptance of the form of the teaching, you can then move into basically step 2. Okay, and in step 2, what you're going to do is you're going to stack up the benefits. Okay? Stack up the benefits. Now again, this is all based upon a philosophical premise that I know to be true, which says that you can have no loss without gain. Okay, that again, the learning opportunity, the lesson, as strangely and or painfully as it's being presented to you, is actually serving you. Okay, so what you can do is you can look for the benefits, and you can look for the benefits throughout the entire hologram of life. Okay, and if you're not familiar with this concept of the hologram, you're looking at it in the physical plane, you're looking at it in the mental plane, you're looking at it in the spiritual plane, you're looking at it in the familial plane, you're looking at it in the social plane, you're looking at it in the career or vocational plane, and you're also looking at it in the financial plane. Okay, that's basically the hologram of life. So what you do then is you start to look for and count the small benefits, the small blessings that came out of that. And in Josh's case, right, we went into the physical side to look at some pieces of the puzzle. And what he realized pretty quickly is that as a result of the shock to a system that was that lesson, again, didn't have to love the way or condone the way the lesson was presented, but have to accept the way it was presented. It shocked him into a different form of reality, and he'd changed his eating habits, he'd changed his exercise patterns, he'd changed a lot of things in his physical life that were directly tied to that experience. And yet at the same time, again, didn't like the way the lesson was presented, but that actually caused him tremendous benefit in his physical life. He knew on the mental side of life that he was at enough awareness about the protocols that he knew that it happened for a reason and that it served, and it allowed him to dig in and remember some stuff from some past experiences in his life that made him realize that there was a pattern to this. And there was an abandonment pattern to his life that had been there for a very, very, very long time. Having that awareness of that abandonment pattern is going to serve him as he moves his way forward. It also allowed him to dig in and look at some things in his career. And as I said, he was very perplexed with his career because he was not able to focus, not goal setting and stuff because of the energy around this. But as we cleared this block using this 3-step protocol that I'm going to walk you through here, and we're on step 2 right now, he realized that he got some clarity about some things that he wanted to see happen in his business. And as a result of that, it was going to change his career going forward. So again, I'm just giving you some examples of some things that we actually talked through with Josh. There was actually quite a few more things that we talked about. And we got to a point where we'd stacked up enough benefits where stage 3 came through. And stage 3 is where you have gratitude for the experience. And you have gratitude for the experience in exactly the form with which it came to you. Okay. And again, you don't have to love the form. You don't have to condone the form, but you will need to accept the form of the teaching, because by accepting the form of the teaching, you recognize and can appreciate that it could be no other way. Because if it could be another way, it would have been another way, right? When you stack up these benefits, you can get to a place where you can actually have gratitude for the entire experience. And once you can get to a place of gratitude, that experience no longer has a hold on you. I can tell you in Josh's case, it completely transformed him. It literally released such a massive amount of energy that he literally came to a state of like gratitude where he had moisture in his eyes. He was literally tearing up because he realized that it was there as a teacher. It was there to experience. It was there to express, and it's going to help him throughout every part of his life to grow and expand and, basically become the person that he knows that he can be. So again, if you've got some blocks in your life, this is one part of our 4-part system and structure for helping people get to where it is they want to get to in life, which is vision, focus, systems, and team. So this is underneath the focus pillar. And by releasing the energy, the negative energy of this for Josh, as I said, absolutely transformed his life and moved things forward. So again, it's a 3-part process. The step 1 is where you go in and you take acceptance of the form of the teaching. Don't have to love it. Don't have to like it. Don't have to condone what the person did. But you need to accept the form of it. And then as a result of that, you can go in and start to stack up the benefits of that. And you keep stacking them up until you realize that there was no loss. There was no negativity. There was equal negative to positive, if you will. And that will trigger this final part, or will allow you to get to a place of gratitude for the experience. And when you get to that place of gratitude, it can tell you again that all things will change because the energy of the experience will let go. What does this got to do with your life and your business? Well, when you can't focus, when you can't concentrate, when you've got this overwhelming angst or pain or regret or resent or whatever it is that's going on in your world, it's blocking you. It's taking up space on the hard drive. It's like a malware program on your computer that's blocking you from, doing all the things that you know that you can do. So again, Dr. Tom here, helping you become more so you can do more and have more. Again, as I stated earlier, if you're someone that has got something like this going on in your life and you'd like to do a brainstorm call to get to the nexus of it, like I was able to help Josh through, reach out into the notes below because there's an opportunity to book a 10-minute discovery call. Really look forward to seeing you on future videos. All the best.